Welcome to another episode of Collectors Coalition, the show that accepts comics as a form of currency. I am your host, Christian Bean, and here with me is my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the person that can tell you Superman's social security number, Mario Bennese.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So, this has been a pretty interesting week for us with coming out of our first podcast. First, well, for me, first ever. For you, it's your second, but the first you're working with me, the beautiful Christian Bean. Yeah, I know. I'm great, aren't I? Great.
So funny.
Yeah. So, what are you doing this week? What's going on?
A lot of work. I had a lot of assignments
Yeah.
due, just back to back, and it was nonstop. I'm just ready for the weekend. I want a piece of cake or something. I don't know. Just Netflix, comic books,
Just kind of relax for a bit.
20 naps.
Mhm.
That's all I want.
Yeah, I've just had a lot of assignments myself this week. The worst thing that I had, honestly, was I had to do a midnight release at GameStop for the NBA 2K17.
Ouch.
And, like, okay, all right, I have this benefit. The guy I was working with that night is really cool. I like him a lot. Friend of mine. Nice guy. Really cool to hang around. People that we had come in to help us, really nice people. Never met them before. It was interesting to meet them. Kind of nice. DJ was awkward and weird, but I don't mind him. The problem was that the people that were coming in were so annoying. I'm like, oh, God, this is what I'm dealing with the entire night? But, like, this one guy. So we have it set up. People come in, right? And what they do is they come in, and we make sure they're paid off, and we give them a number. What that does is that we just take the receipt. They get in line based on number, of course. One first, whatever's last. We take the receipt. We type in the phone number they have on the receipt. We find their order. We do a pickup. We give them the copy. It is the quickest process. Some people get the game protection thing, which is great because it looks really good on me. Like, people's like, oh, I don't need it. It's like, yeah, but the $3 does a lot for me. Like, me as a person, I need it. Please help me. But the problem comes down to is people don't listen.
Of course they don't.
So when I'm during the numbers, right, I'm like 2 minutes before the midnight release starts, like before we start handing out copies, and I yell as loud as I can, everyone needs your attention. Does anybody not have a number for their line? Does anybody need a number? Anybody at all? No, nothing. All right, I'm saying right now, if you don't have a number, you're waiting at the end of the line. Like, you're not getting in front of anybody. People with numbers got here first. It's just as fair.
It's fair.
Everyone's cries a nod. All right. So we ended up only having 20 numbers, and I can tell you right now there were more than 20 people in that line.
Of course.
There was at least 30. Well, maybe not 30, but about 30. So I knew there's going to be 10 people, and I knew they'd be like, oh, I didn't hear you. And they're standing right there, looking at me in my eyes. We made eye contact. They were looking at me. They heard me. They're just too stupid to figure it out for themselves. The one thing that I just loved was one of the guys who had an online order. And basically, what we do is just type in his phone number because you put your phone number in for online orders, and we find it that way. It's not hard at all. It's just he didn't come in to A, pay it off, and B, get his ticket number. So he gets in line like between 16 and 17, right? And he's standing there, and he gets to me. I said, "Oh, man, can I see your receipt? Oh, I have my online order. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. People who got numbers, they're already paid off, ready to go. If you don't have a number, like I said, you gotta wait in the back of the line." I didn't hear you say that. I said it about 4 times, pretty loudly. Like, you get in the back of the line. It will be there, just like, you'll get to you just soon. There's not many people in line. Don't worry. It's not a big deal. Okay, I guess. Walks back, trotting back, right? Having the biggest hissy fit I've seen in a while. And it's just this funniest thing. Along with that, we had so many stoners coming into the store. Like, I was shocked. They were coming in, and I'm like, oh my God, the weed. And why is no one sharing? Because I'll tell you about it now. I was there at 5 o'clock till almost 1:30. I didn't get home, all right? When you're there at work that long, you want something. I came home like, I want to eat, I want to get face, I'm going to go to bed. So that's really what happened to me this week. Other than that, I don't know, work's been fine, school's fine, so I'm just kind of doing my thing. Going every day, doing our stuff. But I do want to talk about something very special that's going on today. Today signifies Mario's 22nd birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
No.
You're the best.
No.
Just wanted to let you all know it's his birthday.
No.
We all celebrating it. I'm making him a nice big dinner tonight. That's celebration.
It's not my birthday.
It's his birthday.
He's holding me hostage.
Gets his willies in my closet. Very small, but he fits.
Very small. A lot of pop boxes.
Yeah, a lot of the pop boxes. Me and my Pops obsession.
Those are my only friends.
The Superman one in particular. Well, that's about what's going on with us this week. I think we should start getting into what's going on in the world. First off, Crash Bandicoot turned 20 on September 9th. Creator Jason Rubin and Andy Gavin
Yeah, I think that's
say
right.
they were set on creating a mascot for PlayStation, just as Mario was for Nintendo and Sonic was for Sega. It's been, to this day, over 50 million copies of this game have been sold. So, what was your favorite Crash Bandicoot game? Going as a kid.
Gonna be honest, I never really got to play a lot of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I didn't have very many video games in my house. It was because, like I had mentioned before, I had to share video games with my siblings. So it had to be stuff that we could all play, not just,
Did you ever play any of them by any chance?
I think I played the racing one.
Oh, Nitro's Racing?
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing
Yeah.
ever. I love it so much. It's so ridiculous.
But I am aware of the character, and I do have an appreciation for it,
Yeah.
Because Crash Bandicoot is just, he looks awesome. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got that going for him.
I played a lot of them. I started off with the one I think it was out for launch during the PS2, but it was somewhere around that. Can't remember necessarily the name. I think it's Revenge of Cortex or something like that. It was really good. It was a great game. I had a great time with it when I was a kid. And then I played that and I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I went back and played all the older ones, and then finding them, playing them, and had a great time with them. My favorite, I really like the second one a lot. The second of the Crash Bandicoot games, I think it was really fun. I remember really having a good time with it as a kid. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the racing one might be my favorite because that racing series was a lot of fun and it was really interesting. And I kind of wish they kept it going. I think it would have been better if they just kept working on it. But there's probably reasons why they canceled it, and I'm not gonna really.
Oh, more than likely.
Yeah.
Have we had any Crash Bandicoot games lately?
Lately, not that I'm aware of. We are getting a collection, I think like HD remastering collection pack of the
okay.
originals. Yeah, so
That'd be
I'm
nice.
totally picking that up when I first get it.
Of course.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, the series is great, and it did something for the industry. I think Crash Bandicoot really is unique of its type, different style. It kind of paved the way to what Sony mascots were going to be like. Kind of like, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank. These are all different Sony mascots, in quote unquote, because
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that like Sony doesn't have an official mascot technically, and they keep adding on things that could be a Sony mascot, like the Sackboy from Little Big Planet could be one, God of War could be one, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, which I feel kind of Ratchet and Clank because it had more games, more popularity.
yeah.
I almost said that's probably the mascot. It's my favorite, but Jack and Daxter's another one.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's so many competition for it that that's why I always love Sony, because Nintendo has Mario, Sega has Sonic, but Sony has so many good ones that it's really hard to pin down which one would be the one. But Crash kind of started this. Crash started the trend of really great Sony games. It's a great title to have on Sony. It was a great game. It's a lot of fun. First one's a little weird, I have to say, but history's like a hindsight kind of thing. When you look at it in hindsight, it's like, yeah, it wasn't that great, but when you think about it at the time, it did a lot. It did a lot for it.
Yeah, agreed.
Along with anniversaries, it's South Park's 20th anniversary. Season 20, episode 1 came out Wednesday, September 14th. So, what was your favorite episode of South Park?
I have way too many favorites. I was thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it for the past week, and I just can't pin down my absolute favorite South Park episode.
Yeah, it's
there are
hard.
Just too many good ones. I can tell you the first one I saw, though. It was Make Love Not Warcraft.
Really?
That was the
That's
very
a great episode.
Actually, wait, no, I lied.
You lying. You liar.
That was one of the first ones I had seen. I think the actual first one I had seen was the one where they go to the vacation resort or something like that.
Yeah.
The timeshares.
Stan
Darsh.
Stan Darsh.
If you something I forgot it, but you're gonna have a bad time. It's been a long time since I've seen that episode, but I remember flipping to Comedy Central and that happened to be on. I'm like, ooh man, I'm so edgy. I'm 15 or so and I'm watching South Park.
God, you're a dork.
I am a dork.
I think for me, when it comes to favorite South Park episode, it's hard to kind of pin it down myself. The first episode I ever saw was the first ever episode. Like I can't remember how I watched it, but I was
Cartman gets an anal probe.
yeah, Cartman gets an anal probe. I love it so much. It's so funny. It's so great. And then like they go on like later with the aliens coming back and showing that Earth is a reality TV show for them. It's just so funny.
Yes.
If I really had to pick my favorite episode, I'd probably have to go with the one where Canada goes on strike. Because it has one of my favorite quotes that I quote with my cousin all the time when I see him. It's I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. And it's great. Just the two of us going at it. We'll just keep going and going and going.
It never ends.
It never ends, and it's so
it's
funny.
It's like the song that does not end. It goes on and on.
Don't stop. Stop.
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was.
I hate you so much.
And they'll continue singing it
but
forever just because.
We are both huge South Park fans, and all the characters in this show are amazing. But if we had to pin down one character that we liked, what would you pin down?
Oh, God. Either Randy or Cartman. See, Cartman's
pretty great.
Cartman's that guy that you hate so much, but he's just
dude.
so hilarious.
Cartman has a special place in my heart.
He does. He's a terrible, terrible human being.
Yeah, definitely.
He's manipulative.
Oh, yeah.
And he is cruel.
Yeah, he is.
He is racist. He's sexist. He's anti-Semitic as all get out.
Yeah.
But man, is he funny.
South Park has always been the proof that having sexist jokes, racist jokes, anti-Semitic jokes, that's not a problem. The problem is there's a line that's drawn.
Context.
And they are constantly pushing that line. As I said, like, comedians, for the most part, have a good point. You know, they have to be super careful with the jokes nowadays, which does neuter comedy. It always comes down to that if it's not funny and it's a racist joke, it's just going to be bad. Like, it has to be entertaining.
It's got to be funny, and it depends on the context.
Yeah. Also, the audience in some capacity.
Yes.
I always feel if you're going to a comedy show of a comedian who's known to be very, very, very controversial, you're going to go and expect it. Like, go in expecting what you're expecting.
If you go in expecting candy and rainbow and fuzzy bunnies, you're going to have a bad time.
Like, South Park has had so much criticism for being sexist, racist, but like, it's so funny because the creators are super liberal.
Very, very liberal.
But I love that you can see that bias in there and them just spitting all over that bias and say, yeah, we are making terrible jokes, but they're jokes. They're meant to make a point, make a reaction out of you. Yeah. Are you laughing? We've done our job. If I had my favorite character, it's Towley. You know how much I love Towley. I think he's the funniest thing on the face.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
I'll suck your for drugs. Just screaming out loud as a kid. Oh, I love it. I love Towley having a drug addiction. It kills me. And like, if I had to pick one of the main cast, it's Cartman all the way. But everyone, I really enjoyed Towley. When Towley's in an episode, I always smile. I'm like, this guy is the funniest thing ever.
Wanna get high?
Wanna get high? It's so funny. But we went into the whole conversation about them being controversial. But South Park has been around for 20 years.
I am older than South Park.
I'm older than South Park.
We're older than South Park.
But
God, we're old.
Think about this for a second.
So
20
old.
years. How many shows last that long? Like, Futurama didn't... Well, no, Futurama didn't last that long. I don't even think... Family Guy has been out for a few
Family
years.
Guy has been around since, 99?
Yeah. So it's getting there.
Yeah, obviously The Simpsons.
Obviously. So yeah, The Simpsons is probably the only one I can think of, but Family Guy might get there. I'm kind of hoping Family Guy gets canceled because it's not funny anymore.
Family Guy?
Yeah, Family Guy. And I think Simpsons
I've watched
just
the first 13 seasons. Yeah. I have a lot of shame right now that I have done this. I've actually watched all 13 seasons that are on Netflix. And the newer episodes, they're meh, but occasionally they'll get a stupid chuckle out of me, and it's like, oh, all right, that was kind of amusing.
I kind of want Family Guy to end, and I don't feel it's very that good, but like Simpsons will never end because it's such an American icon. I think it's the first adult comedy cartoon of some kind, something like that. And
or at least oriented towards adults.
And it's very funny. It's not as funny now as it used to be, but I think they could make it better with a new writing team.
Oh, yeah. They still get a couple good jokes every now and then.
South Park's still good. There are seasons that I feel are lulls that aren't as funny as other seasons, but consistently, every season, at least half the episodes hit with me. It's funny, at least half of them, and it's surprising. Like, you can keep going for so many years. I think what makes them be able to do that is they've had to make the episode week to week,
which is that does wonders for them.
Because it allows them to constantly stay relevant. The humor will always be relevant to the week you're watching it, and it's impressive. And it means a lot for the show, because they literally, some cases, they don't make the episode till 3 days before they're actually putting it out there.
Which is impressive.
Yeah, it's insanity. It's insane. And I love it because it shows that, like, that's what always keeps them going, is that there's always going to be funny things happening in the world. There's only serious things that we can make fun of. Like, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
I kind of want to see them tackle the whole Hillary Clinton against Pepe thing.
Oh my gosh. I cannot.
You know they're going to have a field day with that one.
People who don't know, apparently Hillary Clinton's taking a stand against Pepe, as I've been jokingly saying, and like there's a whole thing on her site about how Pepe is a white supremacist icon, and I'm like, you're kidding, right? It's like, you're kidding, right?
It's a cartoon.
It's like it's the stupidest meme ever.
It's ridiculous. But anyway,
I'm sure they're gonna make a snide joke about it somewhere.
Oh God, I wouldn't put it past them.
Like, it'd be even great if like they start making Donald, like the opponent, Hillary, like some sick lady, and then Donald Trump Pepe.
Well, they already had Donald Trump be.
That's
he
right.
won the election in Canada, and he was gonna build a wall.
He built a wall in Canada against us. It's so great. Going on animation, Batman: Return of the Cape Crusaders is to get a limited theater release, starring Adam West as Batman, Burt Ward as Robin, and Julia Newmar, right?
Yeah, Julie Newmar as
Catwoman. The movie is going to get 3 exclusive showings on Monday, October 10th. Look at your local listings.
Seriously, folks.
Yeah,
do it.
The movie hits digital HD on October 11th, and Blu-ray DVD November 1st. Villains will include the Penguin, the Joker, the Riddler, and Catwoman. Movie coincides with the 50th anniversary of the Batman 66 TV show. Wow, I mean, we cannot believe we're getting another 66 Batman movie. Honestly, I don't even care if it's animated. I can't believe it. Like, there's a whole part in me as a Batman fan. The shirt I'm wearing today is a reference to the show. My mom got me for Christmas. It's one of my favorite shirts of all time. For those of you who will be watching the comics portion and the movie portion, we'll hopefully have video for you this time, and you'll be able to see it on the little snippets. But you'll also be able to see it in this episode, like a little snapshot, whatever. I'm talking too much now.
A little bit, yes.
A little bit too much.
Love you, buddy.
The Batman 66 show for me is one of the funnest, most entertaining things I've ever. I just love it so much. I feel it's one of the best Batman works ever. It really staples down. The only thing to ever really capture the Silver Age Batman feel, other than the 66 show, is Batman Buried from the Bold.
Yeah.
And I still think 66 is better because it's...
What about Batman and Robin?
I do like Batman and Robin. I think it's funny. I think if you look at it as a parody and not serious, it's a great time. But it's so nice to see it come back, you know, man?
Yeah. No, I'm really happy that they were able to get the original cast back together, or at least Adam and Burt and Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. That was a big
really
thing
nice for me. I mean, you can't do a 66 Batman anything without them being somewhat involved. I mean, you can get away with it in the comics because it's, it's paper and pens and, but for a movie or an animated film or a cartoon or whatever, you actually need to get them. They made that show.
Yeah, they definitely did. I find it interesting that the campy style Batman still has an audience. I love the campy style Batman. I think it's great. I think no matter what, the audience will always, 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 always be there. It is interesting, though, to see that they're still making it. Like, it's not just this movie. Like, the Lego Batman movie is very campy, very funny. It's more the kind of, like, joke about the serious Batman, but there's a market for this more jovial, campy Batman style. And I think it's because people are, I know people disagree, but people are sick of that really hardened Frank Miller Batman. I can't stand him. I'm one of those people that believe wholeheartedly that Frank Miller's Batman is one of the worst interpretations to ever be in comics. Now,
I'm not a fan of
is it different? Is it interesting? Yes, but it's one of the worst interpretations to ever be in comics. And I do feel that as much as I appreciate the style it was trying to go for, I don't feel it's very good. And I think a lot of people will agree with me, even if they don't realize it. And that's why the 66 Batman has such a, so much love, and the Lego Batman movie is going to get so much love. It's because they want to see Batman be a little funnier, have a little fun with it. Not in,
I hate all
movies.
My friends and don't trust anybody.
Maybe not in the main movies, but definitely something side where it's fun. I would love to see the Ben Affleck's Batman in Justice League take on a little lighter tone, not necessarily super light, because that wouldn't work for Batman, but not be more of a detective than a crybaby.
Yes, I want to see a detective Batman because, honestly, I can't tell you a single time, like, in the films where he's actually done serious detective work.
Yeah.
It's always, I'm Batman. I punch things. Batmobile.
I mean, like, we had a
Parents are dead.
Parents are dead. 1989 Batman had him staring at computer screens really intensely.
Yeah, and then the beginning of Batman Returns, just sitting in his study, waiting for the bat signal.
Yeah.
And we were watching it the other day, and we were like,
no
it's really convenient that he was sitting in that exact room at that exact moment when that bat signal was placed on the screen.
Either it's convenient, or like when the bat signal comes up, every room in his house has a bat signal somewhere, and he's constantly waiting for it. Well,
he has no friends.
Speaking of Batman, it's the 3rd annual Batman Day, Saturday on September 17th. Sorry, Saturday, September 17th is the 3rd annual Batman Day. Now, it's I know Mario and I kind of have an opinion on Batman Day that as cool as it is,
it's for marketing.
It's definitely for marketing. I don't know why we don't have a Superman Day and a Wonder Woman Day. I mean, I love Batman, but Superman deserves a day more than Batman because Superman is the quintessential starting of the superhero genre.
I mean, I like Batman just as much as the next
guy.
Yeah,
and I think he deserves it.
They only gave him one day, and that was the Wednesday of the week that Man of Steel came out in 2013, and we haven't had anything since.
And I think it's a little ridiculous that they haven't done anything with it. Now, I'm not meaning to, bash Batman Day, and I think it's great. I really love Batman Day, but I want you to understand that our feeling on this is that there should be a Superman Day and a Wonder Woman Day. These are super important characters for DC. Like, these are their headliners. They're the Trinity. They're three. They're top 3, and they should be treated equally. But apart from that, it is Batman Day. So it is a good time to sit down and talk about why we love Batman. And I think the best way to do that is Batman has an impact on people's lives who are fans and who read his comics. I think it's great to kind of highlight what about Batman impacts you? What about his style really hits for you? And how has he impacted your life?
See, I really dig the detective aspect of it. I like a good mystery.
Yeah.
I've always been about film noir and pulpy kind of magazines,
if
from,
you will,
like, the early
Pulp
30s.
Fiction.
Dang it, Christian. But no, I do like those kind of things, and early Batman really gives you that. That's why I'm really
80s Batman's big on that.
Oh, I love 80s Batman.
Yeah.
That's just a great time for Batman.
Yeah,
but I'm looking forward to eventually buying the Batman Golden Age Omnibus volumes, because you get to read.
I'm definitely getting them.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of mystery stories, and I love a good mystery. That's why I really like Batman. I could take or leave the I'm super incredible at all of these martial arts things. That's just a thing that he does.
Yeah.
I really don't care about that. I'm more about the brain power behind Batman. That's his big selling point.
He's got a nice brain. He's not just a pretty face.
You mean half a face?
Yeah, seriously though. For me, as I was gonna say a lot, Batman's my favorite superhero, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. But I feel the most impactful thing Batman ever did for me is the sense of justice in all of his comics, and it's how his ideology works. It's not just people deserve justice and then ignoring the bad people. No, it's everyone deserves justice. When you are wronged, you deserve to have justice. If you do something wrong, no matter how good of a person you are, if you do something wrong, you deserve punishment. There is no gray area with him. If you do something wrong, there's punishment. If you do something right, there isn't. Punishment is decided by the people and not him. He's only there to make sure that justice is delivered, and I think it's an amazing, amazing message for just in general, and I like it. It's always moved me because I always appreciated that there's just the ideology that there isn't a gray area. There's a right and a wrong, and if you do something wrong, you have to make it right. And it's decided by the people, and that's where the whole I've been a good person all my life and made a mistake. Then the people decide, you know what, you did. It's small punishment, but it's something that you just to learn, a slap on the wrist because you were a good person. Or on the other hand, you're a terrible human being. It's like, yeah, so bye. See you in prison.
Have fun.
And it's just that sense of justice, that sense of right and wrong, that sense of there's a good and a bad. It's just something I've always connected with Batman, and I've always appreciated. the whole not kill code, people think, oh, it's because his parents were killed. No, it's not that. It's never that. The whole reason he doesn't kill is simply because that killing isn't justice. He is not an executor. He is not someone who executes people. He is the person that brings it in. You don't tell a cop to kill kill bad guys, because it's wrong. If they can avoid it, avoid it. But Batman will always find another way around it because he knows he can. And I love that. I love that ideology. That killing isn't justice. Killing is just just a quick fix for your problem. That real justice is trying to fix the problem. And every human life is important. And as connect with me on such a personal level, I agree with it so much. His character, I mean, that drives him, and it's also his weakness, but it's the most humanizing weakness I think there could possibly give Batman. Now, comes down to Batman, we have to really discuss his comics and how awesome they are. I think we could stay here forever discussing all of Batman's comics. But what is your favorite Batman, either single issue or story?
Oh God, I'm hard pressed to give you an actual story. Just because there are so many that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
And then there are ones where Batman's not the main character, but I really enjoy what he does in the story, like Cosmic Odyssey, where he that's really, really good.
Year One, which is technically a Jim Gordon story.
Yeah,
more
that's
than anything.
also really good.
It's such a great story.
I know you love Zero Year.
I do love Zero Year. I think Zero Year was a really, really great retelling of his first ever being a superhero. I think that was really cool. And a lot of people don't like it because it kind of erases Year One, but it happens. It's not really that big of a deal. I have to say, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Hush. I love Hush. It's not the best comic line Batman. There's certainly better, but I enjoy it the most. I enjoy what happens in there. I enjoy the brigade of villains. It's the first time we get the idea that, hey, Jason Todd might be alive. It was the first ever innuendo. Hey, he might be still kicking.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, seriously though. And I really enjoy it. I find it really interesting. I have a lot of fun with it. It looks great. Jim Lee's art is amazing in that comic. It looks beautiful. Jim Lee has problems, but I think his art is usually stunning.
I like his early 2000s stuff more than
definitely.
his modern stuff.
That's my favorite story of all time. I just think it's really interesting, really fun. Really, the twist toward the ending is amazing. The different characters that come up are great. How they're all manipulated is great, and just all the twists and turns of that story are great. It's him. He also uses his detective work, which I really appreciate. Now, branching off from comics, what's your favorite movie from him?
Batman '89.
Yeah,
I
think me and you both agree there. Batman '89 is both our favorites.
It's
just
got
a lot of fun.
problems. It is not a perfect film by any means. It deviates from a lot of the source material. He ends up killing Joker at the end. He's responsible for that. Yeah. He's got the Joker's blood on his hands. But man, do they get Batman right. For everything that is wrong, there are 20 good things.
But if I remember correctly, his intent wasn't to kill Joker.
No, it wasn't. It was just a thing that happened.
It was trying to stop him, but I mean, if you look at what he did, you're gonna kill him, dude. What are you doing, you idiot?
Or dislocate his legs.
Yeah.
Which really, they should have been popped out of socket.
There's
no way his legs could support that gargoyle.
I think the movie's really good. I think the style is different and interesting. It's very, very, very Golden Age style to it. Very Golden Age feel to it.
Tim Burton was the right guy to pick for that film.
I'm still that would be always a great debate in my mind. Was Tim Burton really the best choice for that?
I think that the movie works.
I think the movie works. I think the movie's fun. I think Jack Nicholson's Joker is still the best Joker we've ever had.
Yeah.
As much as I appreciate Heath Ledger, I think Heath Ledger did a great job. He wasn't really the Joker. He played a really great character, and I think calling him the Joker is kind of an insult to what he actually gave us.
He gave in a
Jack
really
Nicholson
good
was the best Joker we've ever
by
had.
Far.
But Heath Ledger was probably the best performance in any Batman movie ever. Period. The end. And I just want to clarify that because people will shank me for saying it. But Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight is the best performance in a Batman movie of all time. Period, hands down. It's perfect. Now, Batman '89, I do like it. There's a lot of problems to it, but I think it's fun. The whole killing thing, you can chalk that up to an argument. All the deaths that happen there are really not his fault, or you can kind of see that he really was meant to trying to kill them. They just incidents kind of happen, which is stupid, but I'm okay with it. Yeah. It's not like in Batman vs Superman where he blatantly murders people, blatantly kills them. Like it could all be fixed, and they just show them all in a hospital, like burnt up and beaten up, but all alive. No, they're all dead. They're dead. I'm like, I hate this so much. It hurts me. Shut up. You like that movie?
I have my own reasons for liking it.
Yeah.
I realize it's a very, very flawed film.
But on Batman, which to discuss, very interesting news developing. Probably one of the best Batman writers of all time, Alan Moore retiring from comics at the age of 62. Some of his most famous works include The Killing Joke, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, For the Man Who Has Everything, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, From Hell, Lost Girls, and Swamp Thing. Oh my god, he's retiring.
It's the end of an era, folks.
He is by far my favorite writer of all time. I will always love his writings. I will always say that he's probably the best Batman writer I've ever had, one of the best writers we've ever experienced. He's not a great person, but he's a great writer.
Oh, he's a grouchy, curmudgeonly old man.
He's a grouchy man.
He hates everything that he did not personally touch.
I have a thing for grouchy old men. Like, I love Johnny Cash, but I also love Alan Moore. I have a thing for liking grouchy old men when it comes to creators.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing where he just started bashing his comic fans, it didn't jive with me at all.
I think we should just talk about more. I mean, when it comes to his work, it's good he's retiring. He's 62.
Yeah, that's a good age for him.
He's given more to the comics industry than almost any creator in his time. Like, he gave V for Vendetta one of the best told stories of all time. From Hell, one of the best told adaptations of a historical event in a comic book of all time. Swamp Thing, one of the best characters ever made. Watchmen, and I will
his masterpiece.
Hold this to my own masterpiece, one of the greatest works of American fiction ever.
It's taught in college courses.
When people finally get over the fact being that the comics have pictures and start looking at it as actual literature, Watchmen we talked about, because Watchmen is the greatest comic to ever be created. If you don't like it, that's fine, but it is the greatest comic story to ever exist. Ever. It's so much stuff going on, so much intrigue, so much stories, so much just like layers upon layers upon layers, and it's perfect. It's the perfect story.
Dave Gibbons' art is just phenomenal on that book.
I think we all know my favorite piece of Alan Moore work is The Killing Joke.
I thought it was going to be Lost Girls.
I like Lost Girls. I know a lot of people don't, but I like Lost Girls. I put it on there because I like it. I'll have to deal with it. The Killing Joke's my favorite work by him, by far. It's an interesting story. It's one of the best told Batman stories of all time.
I'd argue it's more of a Joker story.
It's a relationship story. It's about the relationship in a lot of ways.
Yeah, fair point.
There's a lot of things going on in there psychologically. The idea of sanity and how fragile sanity is. The idea that not everyone breaks the same, and certain people are just more component to breaking. Asking the question, is Joker the exception to the no-kill code? And it's very subtly there, but it does ask, is he the exception? Should he be the exception? And it leaves you ambiguously like, it kind of depends on who you are and what you feel about it.
Yeah.
The fact that you learn about Joker and his story, giving you some sympathy for him, but also the ending pointing out that, after everything he did to Gordon didn't break. So maybe it is just Joker. It's just a naturally bad person that all he was waiting for was an excuse. And it's really well done. It's great. I love it. I've read it about 50 times, probably 51 tonight. It's a great story. It's honestly one of the best works of Batman I'll ever read. I still like Hush more, but The Killing Joke, it's hard to put on that list because The Killing Joke is such a masterpiece in its own right.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite Alan Moore work?
See, some people are probably going to expect me to say Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. And that's a good story. It's a nice little It's a nice little closure to the Silver Age Superman right before the introduction of the post-crisis Superman.
Yeah.
But it's not my favorite piece. It's got great moments in there.
It does have some great
moments.
Mr.
Mixer-Spitalick, the twist at the end, the bit with Crypto, all of Superman's enemies coming to attack him. That's all good stuff. That's all fine and dandy. But I'd have to say For the Man Who Has Everything. Superman, yeah, Superman Annual Number 11, which is where that story was first published, is a brilliant piece. So brilliant that it was adapted into a Justice League Unlimited episode.
I remember. It's a very good
episode.
episode.
Very good. It's very strong, very powerful, and it's something that a lot of writers have been trying to emulate ever since. Yeah. In the recent Savage Dawn story, Superman number 50, they have a bit where Vandal Savage kind of shows Superman all these things that could be.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I remember.
Yeah, well, we kind of already did that, but better with Alan Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going over familiar ground and not doing anything new with it. So it clearly has its place and its significance, so much so that people are trying to copy it.
Yeah.
Very poorly, I might add.
Well, every time someone tries to copy an Alan Moore work in any capacity, it's never very good because Alan Moore is just the perfect creator. Like, when he makes something the way it is they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
I've seen so many attempts to do a Watchmen style thing, it just never works because the Watchmen is perfect the way it is.
It has to be set in that specific time period.
It has to be those specific circumstances for it to work.
You can't capture lightning in a bottle twice.
Yeah, definitely. Now, on Alan Moore, Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen's actor Billy Crudup?
Crudup?
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Was cast as Barry Allen's father in the Flash movie. Captain Cold and Golden Glider are also rumored to appear in the movie. That was an interesting casting.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna see any Blue Wang. We probably won't see any Blue Wang. I just want to put that
hope
in there.
not.
He's a good actor.
Hey.
What?
If they do, we'll have a blueberry. This is why I have no friends.
Stop.
This is why I have no friends.
Yeah. I'm your friend. You're my buddy. I think it's a fun casting. Interesting choice. I want to see it. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, because we know he can play a very stoic, cold character.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what Dr. Manhattan was.
But Barry Allen's father is very warm and kind and kind of very loving to Barry.
Very compassionate.
Very compassionate, man. And I would like to see that. I don't know if he's done a role like that before, but I think it's a good choice. He's a good actor. He's definitely a good actor.
Oh, certainly.
So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Not much to really say about it. I just thought it was an interesting thing to add in here.
Yeah.
But on the topic of actors in the MCU, Man of Steel 2, not actors, but Man of Steel 2 has been confirmed by Henry Cavill's agent. So what do you want out of the sequel for Man of Steel? Because Man of Steel wasn't really well received. It was very polarizing, but I still feel it's probably one of the better of the DC Cinematic Universe movies, if not the best of them.
Agreed. I really like it a lot. I have seen it at least 17 times. I own it on Blu-ray and DVD. I followed that movie extensively.
I think to discuss what Man of Steel should do from this point on, and what you do in the sequel, we should discuss what was wrong with it in the first place. Honestly, the issues it has, if they weren't there, it would have been an excellent film. The problem is the issues are just so stupid and are so poorly done. Or either they're ideas that work but are poorly done, or just ideas that are just stupid in general. One of them being the whole, like, Codex being Superman, making him more special than he already is. He's freaking Superman! He doesn't be more special, he's already special!
See, my philosophy about Superman is that whenever he walks into a room, he's automatically the most interesting and fascinating person in that room.
Yeah. When Batman walks into a room, he's instantly the smartest person in that room, except when Lex Luthor's there.
And then the battle begins.
Yeah.
No, I'd have to say that maybe tone down the action a bit. As much as I loved seeing Superman flying around and beating the crap out of Kryptonian villains.
I agree wholeheartedly. I would love to see more of
Tone it down.
Let there be a little more emotion in this movie.
Certainly. I think it was also bogged down by the fact that it was a reboot, and so you had to get the origin out of the way. The stuff on Krypton was cool.
You didn't need
like,
the origin. You could do the Krypton stuff, skip the whole childhood thing, and you were fine. You didn't need any of that. It would have given you so much more time to develop the characters more.
I feel like they focus too much on the alien aspect of Superman. We focus on, for all the flashbacks, a majority of them are,
I'm an alien.
I've got this new power. What do? I can hear things through walls and see through the skeleton and the infrastructure of my teachers and my students. I'm different. I'm weird. Swim to the island. Listen to my voice. Focus on the bits where he learns how to be an actual human. Like how he learns to be a person. Because we
really haven't gotten
get
that.
Bits and pieces of it, and we get some nice little moments with Ma and Pa Kent, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, definitely.
Superman is one of the most human characters in the DCU, and I wish they would focus more on that.
Now, I agree. I feel that the things they tried were fine. First off, they need to work on... There's a couple of times where you have to ask yourself, is changing this from the comics really necessary? If the answer is no, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not that changing things in comics are bad. It's that you don't do it unless it's necessary, unless there's a good reason behind it.
Stick to the basics.
Stick to what you know. Like I always say, make the movies for comic book movies for the comic book fans. Because as long as they're good movies, everyone will see them. As long as they work, make sense, and are good, everyone will see them. Man of Steel was not made for the Superman audience. It was made for the general audience. And that really bogged it down.
And don't kill Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, God. Just
Still hate that.
Stupidest thing. Other than that, I feel you need to better explain. The more emotional moments really helped. The whole him killing Zod bit was fine, but you saw no repercussions for it.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out where they would fit a scene like that in. Do you fit it in like exactly after the killing of Zod and then before he throws down the satellite, or do you do it after the satellite and then have it be a little change of pace between that scene with the satellite and then him going in to work for the Daily Planet? They need to restructure that ending.
Man of Steel should have ended with a sad ending. It should have ended with Superman really kind of questioning, am I doing the right thing? Was that the right thing to do? And I think ending on this upbeat Daily Planet note was unnecessary.
Speaking of upbeat, though, I think that they really should, and I know they're probably going to go in this direction after they bring him back from the dead. He's coming back. We know it.
Yeah.
They really should try to make him a little bit more upbeat. Not like singing in the park and whistling tunes.
Singing in the rain.
No.
Sorry.
And saving cats from trees, but a little bit more positive outlook. A little bit less of a mopey Superman. As much as I've enjoyed Henry Cavill as Superman, I want him to be a little bit more positive. He needs to be that beacon of hope in the DC universe.
I definitely agree.
Now, for villains, I'd love to see Brainiac. They have to bring him in.
Same here. I would love to see Brainiac, maybe Cyborg Superman, and then just Lex a little better, a little more involved.
Yeah. See, Eisenberg looks a lot better when he doesn't have the mop hair and he actually is bald. I'm like, okay, I can kind of buy that as Luthor, just less eccentric. A little less eccentric, please.
And if you had to put a point in the DCU kind of DC Cinematic Universe, time frame, like movie time frame, where do you want to see it? Personally, I want to see it right after the Justice League film. I want this to be right afterwards.
Agreed.
But I wouldn't mind seeing it maybe after like Justice League, then Shazam, and then Superman, Man of Steel.
Yeah, well, they haven't given us a date for it yet, so we don't know when. It might be around 2020, which is kind of unfortunate that we have to wait 7 years for a proper Superman sequel. But I'm still happy that we are getting something because
we're getting Superman and everything else. So it's not like
which
he's
is
going
great.
away.
It's not like he's going to be completely absent. He was slightly in. He had some sort of a role in Suicide Squad in the beginning where they mentioned.
Didn't.
Well, yeah,
he
did.
mentioned him. He wasn't actually there.
That was their whole reason for putting the squad together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is fine. Like he actually has an impact on the universe, which is fine.
Now moving on. We get a confirmation for the actor playing Shazam. It's going to be Alan Ritchson. Did I pronounce his name? Ritchson?
Yeah.
Alan is known for playing Aquaman in Smallville. Shazam is set to premiere on April 5th, 2019. I think it's good casting.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's a good actor.
I remember really liking his performance as Aquaman, or at least the version of Aquaman that they gave us in Smallville.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think he'll do a pretty good job. I don't have any problems with the casting. He looks the part.
He does look the part.
They just need to, dye his hair black or something.
Give him a shave.
Yeah, give him a shave, dye his hair black, but I think he can pull it off.
I mean, honestly, the hair color isn't that big of a deal, personally.
I always like Shazam with black hair.
It's cool, but I don't think it's necessary. It's one of those things. Like, yeah, it'd be nice, but they don't need to do it. All right, that's
up for debate.
That's fair. Agree to disagree on that one. Honestly, when it comes to this movie, I'm getting everything I want. We have The Rock playing
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Thank you. I forgot the name for a second there. Great casting. I think The Rock's a great actor.
Oh, totally.
Great actor. I think it's a good casting for him. Very, very interesting. I'm really, really excited to see him do his thing. I'm just interested in how the story goes. I'm pretty open-minded about this. I'm pretty open-minded to see what they're going to do with it.
See, the way I'd like to see it done is like I think it was Jerry Ordway that wrote the story. It was The Power of Shazam. It was just like a little introduction to the post-crisis Captain Marvel. If they do it similar to that, I will be over the moon. I would be so pleased.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I'd be really happy as well.
That's a really good story.
Now, getting off the DC movie news, let's go a little more Marvel for right now. Mr. Sinister is confirmed to be in Wolverine 3's villain, and the movie will be released on March 3rd, 2017. It's really soon, actually. It's really soon.
Yeah, we haven't seen any trailers for it, have we?
No, not yet. I think we're gonna see it around when the next when Doctor Strange comes out. I think after that we'll start seeing it at some point.
Makes sense.
I'm not a Wolverine fan. I actually hate Wolverine. I think he's one of the worst characters right now, just because he's so overused.
He's just okay.
But I love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, Hugh Jackman's awesome.
If there's one soft spot for Wolverine I have, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think it's a great choice of character, great choice of acting. It's good. I'm happy to see it. I'm excited to see it. I think Mr. Sinister's a great villain. It's a great choice for Wolverine villain. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I liked the last Wolverine movie a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really interesting. I've been liking Wolverine in the movies more and more. I think Hugh Jackman really sells this role, and as long as he's a good writer, he's good. What?
He particularly loves X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite, all right.
That's my favorite Deadpool.
And saying that I'm not a Wolverine fan, and then, really saying that I do love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I'm going to miss Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to miss it.
He really defined that role, honestly.
Yeah, he is... he will always be Wolverine to me.
Much like Christopher Reeve is always going to be Superman, and Adam West will, to some people, always be Batman.
He is always going to be... He's always going to be Superman. Wolverine, sorry. I was thinking Christopher Reeve for some reason. He will always be Wolverine for me. But Hugh Jackman's gone to the age he does need to get out of this. He's going to hurt himself one day. Doesn't he do all of his own stunts?
I think so.
Because he's an insanely buff man. Like,
very buff.
He is an attractive human being.
Buffer than I.
Ooh, oh my. But
Satan, get behind me.
Satan, get behind me.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. I'm sad to see him go, but I'm really happy that if this movie, as long as the movie's good, I'll happy to see him go off on a good note. Even if it isn't, it's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I love the performance.
There'll be something good about it.
X-Men Origins Wolverine, as bad as that movie was, Hugh Jackman did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Hugh Jackman always does a great job. So I'll always be happy with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now, going to more comics-related news, DC announces the death of Hawkman. This miniseries will be the first miniseries for the Rebirth titles. Now, I know you're thinking Raven, but Raven is actually in the Rebirth universe. It's just it's fun
its own thing. Marv Wolfman wanted.
I'm actually picking it up, so when it comes out, we will be discussing it.
Oh, looking forward to it.
I'm really
I love
excited.
Marv Wolfman. I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
It's actually to be released in October, so pretty soon. I'm also picking this up as well. So, for all of you who don't know, Hawkman is a man with like hawk wings from a different planet, who is a cop on that planet, comes here, superhero. He's had so many interpretations, it's really hard to pin down who he is.
Yeah, sometimes he gets his powers from ancient Egyptian
Yeah, well, that's
magic.
right. The ancient Egyptian thing's really cool.
That's more the Golden Age thing. Sometimes he's Thanagarian. There is no one set origin for Hawkman and Hawkgirl. It's all over the place, and it has been since their creation.
I think, though, there's an article I read that really kind of points out a big flaw with this, is that do we really care they're killing off Hawkman again?
Yeah.
Before it was pretty impactful because Hawkman was a pretty cool character a lot of people liked, but he hasn't had relevancy in, God, how long?
And I like Hawkman.
I do like Hawkman too, but we have to be honest here, man.
He doesn't get the exposure that he deserves.
So killing him off is just kind of a hey, we don't use him anymore. Might as well bring him in and have a really heartfelt story about him dying. Maybe they'll bring in Hawkgirl afterwards. I don't know, but like, I don't think the killing of Hawkman's gonna be very emotional. I'm curious to see what comes out of it.
It's like them writing a miniseries, The Death of Slam Bradley.
Yeah.
Like 5 people are gonna know who Slam Bradley is.
We are 2 of them.
We are 2 of them. Also a Siegel and Schuster creation.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, he appeared in Detective Comics in the very early days.
Good on him.
Well, both of them actually.
But I don't really think the line's necessary, but I'm really excited for it. And
Adam Strange
is going to be in it, so that's going to be cool. But when it comes down to it, is it necessary? No. But is it going to be cool? Probably. Are we going to like it? Yeah, we're definitely going to like it.
We're definitely going to talk about it.
And we're going to talk about it. We're probably going to put up the first issue as like a highlight for us to really discuss it.
More than likely. What is it, like 6 issues?
Yeah. I would be surprised if every issue we talk about, but that's just my thing. I'm excited for it.
Completely blow us out of the water and be like, wow, I really do miss this character once he's gone.
I'm sure we will. Now, for the final news, it's another thing for DC Comics. Justice League vs. Suicide Squad has been slated for December 2016. It will be a 6-issue event written by Joshua Williamson, Flash Rebirth writer, illustrated by Jason Fabok. The miniseries is going to spawn the new JLA series, and it'll be written by Steven Orlando, Rebirth Supergirl writer. So, first question for you, Mario. Hard, intense discussion question. Is this a fair fight?
Not at all.
Not in the slightest.
even the weakest member of the Justice League could probably single-handedly take down the entire Suicide Squad.
I agree. Superman could take down the entire Suicide Squad.
You're on thin ice, buddy. Very thin ice.
It's a weird matchup. I don't think the story's about them fighting. We might get an issue with them fighting, but there's gonna be more to it, definitely. I just find it just so funny. Like, how no one would believe that this team would actually work. They spent like they spent 10 issues trying to convince us that the old JLA could beat Justice League, and they still got their butt whooped. It took them for a while to convince us that it would work, and they still lost. Yeah.
You mean team swapping the miniseries?
It was awful.
It was terrible. I couldn't keep track of who was on whose team.
But it's a pretty big deal though, because it's gonna put Suicide Squad into the more light for the overall universe.
Yeah,
which would be fascinating. JLA, great title. Really excited. I want to see where that goes. I love JLA. The last JLA story was awful. Awful.
Oh god, yeah. They keep trying to finish out Brian Hitch's series for that, the one that they started in the New 52. And it's been so long since they put out an issue, and then they put out issue number 9. I'm like, I really don't care. It's still sitting on my desk in a bag and board, and I still haven't read it, and it's been out for like 2 weeks. I just don't care.
Yeah, well, I don't either, but I'm glad to see it's getting redone by someone else, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
I want to know who's going to be on this team, because they already have the main 7 on the Justice League, so they have to have a new JLA.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they're going to probably discuss that more later. We'll see it soon.
Yeah.
But now it's time to get on to our collection. What we get in our collection. So first off, we'll be discussing what we got from our pull box. Starting off, we got Action Comics number 963.
Written by Dan Jurgens, and artist is Patrick Zurcher.
It's a good comic.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to have that little break after, the 6 or 7 issues of just fighting with Doomsday. It's nice to have that little issue that kind of gives you a little bit of a chance to breathe before taking you into the next story. So I think it served its purpose well. Definitely.
I do feel like it's really good, really interesting, and I like it for the most part.
The art's great.
Yeah, art's fine. I'm just curious to see where it goes. The story with who is this Clark Kent?
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I think it's pretty cool. So next up we have is Batgirl and the Birds of Prey number 2. The writer is Julie Benson, and artist is Carly Rowe. What's her name?
Yeah.
It's fine. I read it.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's not that bad. I have a problem with the whole Oracle being a villain thing now. I think it's stupid, but
Oracle's a villain now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. But it's fine, I guess. It's not a big deal.
Well, if you're somewhat enjoying it, I guess that's all that really matters.
It's fun. I like the relationships are where it's worth it. Deathstroke number 2 came out with Christopher Priest as the writer, and the artist is Carlo. Really hard to pronounce last name. I don't know.
Paguilayan?
It's bad. This issue was bad.
It was bad?
It was bad. It's not that horrible. There's cool things that happen in it, but it's bad. I didn't care the entire time. But it's sad to say, because I really like Deathstrokes as a character.
I like him too.
I think his new suit's stupid. It's so stupid looking. It's the stupidest looking thing.
The Rebirth one-shot didn't really grab me and say, hey, buy this.
I bought it because it was Deathstroke.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I know who Deathstroke is, and I'm familiar with his world a little bit, but not so familiar where it's like they have all these side characters. I'm like, who is this guy? I've never seen you before.
If it keeps going like this, I'm probably going to drop it. I'm going to go through the entire first arc, and if it's still like this for the first arc, I'm definitely going to drop it. It's not that interesting.
That's $3.90, or that's $2.99 that you get to save.
Yeah, no, right. Put another comic. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, number 4 came out. The writer is Robert Venditti, and artist is Ethan Van... What?
Ethan Van Sciver?
Sciver?
Sciver? I don't know. I've heard
Driver? Tiver?
Adam Driver?
Adam Driver. Good comic. Fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Guy Gardner actually got a good laugh out of me.
Yeah,
actually.
I actually liked Guy Gardner. I'm like, that's shocking. I usually hate you. But I liked it. I thought it was great. Great story.
I want to know what's going to happen to Hal.
Yeah, same. I'm really interested to see where that goes.
Sinestro is, of course, very villainous.
Mm-hmm.
Love him.
Sinestro is such a monster, man. He's so bad.
But he does have does have rules, though. He does
very
moral
specified rules.
It was nice to see.
It was. I'm really excited to see where it goes from there. Like I said, there's a great.
What are you trying to say? Use your words.
There's a great moment there. I'm trying to do it without spoiling it. It's a very expected moment where you get to kind of see Sinestro get his comeuppance just a little bit, and it's so worth it. It's so you're like, yeah, that's what you deserve, you little monster. You deserve, you jerk. I'm so excited. I love it.
You butt.
I can't wait for the next issue. The next issue will be great. New Superman number 3 came out. The writer is Gene.
Luen Yang.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. And
I can never pronounce his middle name.
and neither can I. And
artist
is Victor
Bogdanovic.
He does a good job.
He does, and I had written a review for this for the Superman homepage, and every time I write Bogdanovic, I always think John Bogdanov. Who did a lot of '90s Superman art, and I'm like, this is kind of confusing. Stop this. Stop having similar last names.
Stop it. Stop this right now.
Of course, it would have been helpful if I weren't writing it at like 3 in the morning.
It's a good story. It's a different story. A different Superman. I like it. I'm really, really enjoying the comedy in it. It's very funny.
Yeah.
So next up is Red Hood and the Outlaws number 2 with writer Scott Lobdell and an artist Dexter Soy.
I liked it.
I think it's great. I just don't like Lobdell.
I love the cover though. We actually get speech bubbles on the cover. When was the last time we had that?
I feel that the comic is a flow issue.
Yeah, kind of. Just kind of takes you from one point to the next.
And
it's
also,
a connector issue, really.
Like, why are they shooting at Red Hood? They're probably shooting at him, and he's talking to Artemis, and just like not Artemis.
It's Artemis, isn't it?
Is it Artemis?
I think so.
All right. And you're just like, why are you shooting at him? Why?
I don't know.
You're working with him. Why are you shooting? I don't know. It's stupid.
Either way, Bizarro comes next issue.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Very last issue, very last panel, I finally got to see Bizarro for once.
Oh my god, I love Bizarro.
Yeah, it was cool. Next up is Star Wars: The Force Awakens adaptation. This is an adaptation of The Force Awakens in a comic form, and it's really just to show the art. The writer is Chuck Wendig, and the artist is Luke Ross. It's fun. I like it. I'm collecting it for collector's sake. I'm really just getting it to display it and display it around and have it in my pull box. So I have it. I'm getting every other Star Wars line right now, so might as well just grab that.
Of course you are.
Yeah, it doesn't cost me that much, honestly, and it's not really that big a deal. I like it, though. The art can vary from really, really great quality to just stupid looking, but that's what you kind of get from these adaptation type things. They're never really that great, but they're cool.
Yeah. Well, unless we're talking like the classic 70s and 80s Star Wars adaptations.
Well they aren't adaptations. They're continuations of the story.
No,
the Star Wars main line is amazing.
No, they actually had adaptations of the movies.
Did they?
Yeah. No, they had some pretty great art in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for the art. It's all it's for. It's
that's
only for the art. You're not there for a story.
Sometimes you get like a little extra something and a little thought
and
box.
It's never worth it, though.
No, but it's still nice to read it.
Next up is Suicide Squad number 2. The writer is Rob Williams. Artist, Jim Lee.
It was fine. I liked the second half a lot better than the first half.
This one is another one that has a flow issue, honestly.
Takes it from A to B.
Yeah, I can't tell you things that happen.
There's stuff that happens, and if we talked about it, it'd be very spoilery.
We'll probably talk about it the next time the next issue comes out.
More than likely.
It is interesting. The ending's super fascinating. We get the second half. They do the whole like first half's the story about Suicide Squad. The second half is the story about one of the members, and the second half is Boomerang. Captain Boomerang has the story, and that's pretty cool. It's a good story.
I love Captain Boomerang.
It's a good story. It's a whole it's really kind of pointing out how much of a liar he is.
I love it how he actually gets his classic costume in
the
backstory.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What?
Other than that, the line's good. Good humor. Interesting to see where it goes. The art is fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's just because it's got Jim Lee on it.
Yeah.
Jim Lee knows how to draw.
Then there's Superwoman number 2. The writer and artist is Phil Jimenez?
Jimenez?
I think it's Jimenez. Good.
It's good.
I mean, the last issue threw you for a loop and you realize, oh, so Lois isn't a Superwoman? She gets killed? What? What is this? Why? And like you're sitting there with these feels and it really, really hurts you.
It's really good. I'm really looking forward to the third issue. I just wish that it weren't a monthly comic. I wish it were bi-weekly.
I guess because the writer and artist is the same person, so you need a little more time to work on it, which is fine. But since every issue really gets you going, oh man, what's going to happen next? Oh man, what's going to happen next? Oh man, what's going to happen next? And it also just like it fills in those little gaps you get with Superman in action. I think it's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice because I'm picking up everything Superman, obviously, and so it's nice to see like what everybody's doing in the little corners of the DCU. I'm like, right, this is where I belong.
It is really nice. So, next up is Wonder Woman number 6, with writer Greg Rucka.
Yep.
And artist Nicola Scott.
I loved it.
It was good.
It was really good.
Really good. There's a lot of heartfelt moments. It's one woman in jail cell, not understanding at all what's going on, and it's the best.
Did you catch the George Perez reference?
Yeah, I caught the George Perez reference. That was really sweet.
I'm not spoiling anything by saying this, but they bring in a guy that is an expert in ancient Greek, and his name is Dr. Perez, and when he comes in, he actually looks like George Perez. I'm like, what? That's a nice look. Because George Perez, if you're unaware, he did a reintroduction of Wonder Woman in the 80s, and it was a big, big thing.
Yeah. I like it. It's really good. The year one story's been perfect.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see where it goes from here.
I like the even issues better than the odd ones.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the odd issues are bad. It's just I'm really digging
the year one story. It's really good.
Story.
Well, we're going to go break real fast. Tell you about Document 94. If you are in the Coconut Creek area, please go to Document 94. Check them out. They're great guys. They're really cool. They help us out. They promote us a little bit. They're good friends. I like them.
They are good friends.
They're good friends.
You can go in there and talk to them for quite a while.
Yeah. But back to comics. We're going back to our highlights. What this week do we want to highlight? Now, first off is going to be All-Star Batman.
And Robin.
It's not Batman and Robin because that was a terrible story. And terrible. Well, Gart was pretty good. A little weird sometimes. All-Star Batman was really good. Really interesting. I wanted to bring this out. It's written by Scott Snyder and artist John Romita Jr. Romita Jr. has a problem with art sometimes, but this line, he kills it. Now, I wanted to bring it up, not necessarily because the comic itself as a whole story was this excellent masterpiece, but it's Scott Snyder really delivering on that whole, hey, I'm going to give you villains you haven't seen in a long time. I mean, let's list the villains we got in here. We've got ourselves King Shark. We got our Killer Moth. Well, Killer Moth was the first issue.
Okay.
But King Shark, Killer Croc, this giant meatball that I don't remember very well. I'm not going to tell one of them because one was kind of a spoiler. You get Cheshire, and what was Green Arrow's for a while was his sidekick, became an assassin. She's in Young Justice as well.
You got me.
I can't remember her name right now.
I'm blanking right now.
Yeah, but she's in it. You read it, you'll recognize her. These are all great characters, and it's a great story. It's really interesting with him and Two-Face, and this whole running commentary with him and Two-Face. Apparently, Two-Face knows a secret identity, which was a thing before, and it's still now, which is really cool. I love it. I think it's excellent. I wanted to bring it up. Pick it up. This is a great story. This is one of the best Batman stories being told right now. It's Scott Snyder at his best. He's told he can do what he wants. So you know what he's doing? What he wants. So it's excellent. It's fantastic. I am really, 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 really into it. Is there a couple things that I want to change about it? Sometimes the art can be a little bit weird, but I think it fits. Sometimes how he gets out of the things he gets out of is insane, but it fits. It's a good Batman story through and through. And I just love to see these no-name villains coming in and actually causing a problem.
Let's just hope Romita Jr.'s art doesn't resort to the god-awful atrocity that was during his Superman run where the proportions were incredibly off.
Yeah, so far he's done pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, he starts out pretty strong. It's just I think that sometimes he might, slack a little bit.
He does slack.
Yeah, he used to be really good, too. He did a great Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty much about this. Let's move on to the next one.
Detective Comics number 940.
Oh my god, this comic hurts me.
Written by James Tynion IV, and Eddie Barrows is the artist. The feels
in this issue are real. It's a very, very emotional Batman issue.
Very.
A lot of things happen in it. We can't really discuss story because literally everything could be a spoiler.
Everything's a spoiler.
Everything's a spoiler.
Even spoiler is a spoiler.
Even spoiler is a spoiler. But man, oh man, it is something to behold. This is one of the best endings to a Batman story of all time.
I think I like the detective story a little bit better than the Batman story, and that's not to say that the Batman story is not very good. It's very good.
Thin ice, mister.
No, it's very good. But I like the detective story a lot better.
I like the team-based concept of it. I think it's really good. Oh, it's so good. It looks good. It reads good. It's like sweet, 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 sweet nectar of my life, and I need it. I need it so much.
Ambrosia, if you will.
Yeah, ambrosia, if you will.
Which everybody knows are honey buns.
Now, we're only bringing it up because we can't discuss any of the story, like, at all. There's nothing in there we can actually get into. It's pretty bad.
We can't.
But we're telling you, pick it up. Pick it up. Do it. It is excellent. It's got an excellent moment. It almost became a comic to where if you didn't pick it up when it came out, you wouldn't have got it at all.
Yeah.
Things happen to you're like, oh, this might be a hard one to find later, but it's still going to be. It's tying into things that are going to happen later, and the tying in was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. The next issue is going to say a lot about this book, and there's a lot of things are going to happen. And I can't only begin to tell you need to pick this up.
There's a lot of speculation going on from our end.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of speculation going on from our end, mainly from me. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little proud of that. Next up is the Doom Patrol first issue. It is written by Gerard Way, also the lead singer from My Chemical Romance. I honestly think he's a better writer than he is a singer. I'm not saying he's a bad singer. I just think he's an okay singer, but he's an excellent writer.
I have a soft spot for MCR.
Yeah. And artist is Nick
Darrington.
Darrington? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't read this one. What'd you think of it?
What? It's good, but what is going on in this comic? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Like,
it's so out there.
Like Grant Morrison out there, or...
Oh, no. I mean, like, I'll probably have you borrow it to read it, but dude. Okay. It's not a spoiler necessarily, but I'll give you an example. One of the characters comes to their universe, and he was in a universe that existed on a Euro. No. Churro?
Hero.
No, you're the thingy.
Yeah, it's a hero.
It's called Hero?
Gyro. Yeah.
I thought it was called Euro.
You can say it the American way and be a gyro, or you can... I think the correct pronunciation is hero.
But, like...
I'm not sure. I just know it tastes delicious.
It is delicious. And it happens, and, like, there's a huge explosion, it comes out of it, and this universe, and you're just, like... You're sitting there confused. Confused to all believe. Like, if you take the sticker off of the front of the cover... It's a sure. Oh, I'm probably gonna pronounce it. And you take it off. It's a galaxy, and it's super cool. I'm not taking the sticker off because that diminished the value of the cover.
That and the cover is a sweet, sweet reference to Velvet Underground's first album.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool reference.
I was like, what?
I think there's another reference in there somewhere. I can't remember if that's what they're referencing, but I do appreciate it. But man, it's something. If you like Doom Patrol, you like the characters, get it. It's interesting. If you want something that's really going to just put you off and like, what is going on? Get it. It's weird. It's strange, which is right now a good thing because it's issue 1, but it could really hinder it later. If they do it right, it won't hinder it. If they do it wrong, it'll definitely hurt it. But it is pretty great. I did really like it. I want to bring it up. It is the first issue. Doom Patrol is a kind of a group that's gone quiet for a while, and I'm glad to see them come back again. And it's a lot of fun. They don't really come as a group in this one, but you see different characters that are part of the group, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know how much influence Gerard Way had with the designing of the cover, but he strikes me as a guy that'd really be into Lou Reed.
Yeah, a little bit. I love his work. I think he's a really talented writer. Next up is another issue that hit it with the feels. The Flash number 6.
Oh my God, this has been such a great series.
Written by Joshua Williamson.
Yeah.
An artist is
Carmine Di Gian.
Very Italian last name. Very Italian last name.
Gian Domenico. I got it.
Oh, woo! Italian heritage. Be proud.
Barely.
This is the next issue after the death of Mina. And I'm telling you right now, there has something to be said about a writer who can deliver a twist, quote unquote, that you saw coming, but you didn't want.
Yes.
You almost begged for it not to be true.
That, and you really care about Mina.
Oh my God.
She was introduced in, like, what, the second issue, and it's only been 4 issues.
And you just seeing
we're sad to have seen her gone in the previous issue.
Unhinged and just barely keeping it together.
Poor
Barry
buddy.
just keeping it together.
He's... Dang it, Christian.
just no. It's hard. It almost hurts you to look at. It's almost painful to see it, because it's like you can see just how destroyed he is, and like someone calls him out, like, how can we feel safe around you? And he doesn't argue with them because he doesn't feel like he can. He can't argue with them, and that's one of the worst parts. He can't argue with them, and you're like, oh, buddy, man, I'm so sorry.
Poor buddy.
I am so sorry, and it's just something amazing, fantastic, and painful. It is a painful story. If you're a Flash fan, God bless your soul.
You should be reading this.
God bless your soul, because you are suffering right now, because it hurts you. But it's such a good story. It's so well written. It's so well drawn. It's so well told. Oh, it's so good. It's one of the best
Flash stories we've had.
Yeah, period.
Well, I really liked the New 52 Flash. You know, the beginning of it.
Yeah,
that was really good.
It was really good. Well, that's done. Next up is Green Lantern, number 6, along with Flash. Writer is Sam Humphries, and artist is Jack Herbert.
Where to begin?
Okay, so the story that was going on in the last one with the Hell Tower and whatnot very abruptly ends, and you're like, what's kind of going on with this? And then it makes sure to have a reason behind it. The ending of this issue is perfect. Like, it's perfect. It's the perfect thing. And it's just like, you get to the issue, you're like, wow, this abruptly ends. You get like a really cool moment with the two of them, with family. We almost weren't going to highlight it if it wasn't for the ending. The ending is such a, oh no type thing. And you're like, oh, okay, we have to talk about this. Because it's a fake out. It's a perfect fake out. And it's really, really well done.
Well, I found myself smiling a lot with that pivotal moment with Jessica.
Yeah.
I was smiling quite a bit.
It was really, really cute.
There's a lot of great character moments in this book.
There are a lot of great character moments in this book. It's hard to really get into. It's technically the end of this first story. Technically the beginning of the next story, which is technically the same as the first story. If it is the same, we really don't know necessarily, but they're building to something with this, and it's interesting to see where it's going. Art's great. Characters are great. Pick it up. Do it. It's really good. Even if you're not a big Green Lantern fan, I'm not really that big of a Green Lantern fan, I'm still picking it up because it's so entertaining.
It is very entertaining.
Now, moving on to other things in our collection. First up, I was going to discuss, I got a new game for my collection called Tearaway. Where to begin with this? It's for the PS4, also for the Vita originally, and you can tell. The problem with Tearaway in a lot of ways is that you are definitely missing good features without the Vita version. Like, the Vita version definitely has good features on there. But on the other hand, the game's fun. The game's entertaining. I like the game. So it's a weird kind of two straws type thing. On one hand, I like the game, but on the other hand, I'm going to like it more on Vita. I'm going to be getting a Vita soon because it's a great system. Maybe once Army can go ahead. It doesn't have the game selection as the 3DS does, but it has more power. And I think it's just a better built system. But I'm going to get it for Vita because I think it's better. I think it looks better on Vita from what I've read. It's on the Vita. It does definitely look better. But I like it. It's fine. Good addition. The cover is a lot of games are doing the inverted cover thing, you know, like the outside will have like all the marketing stuff, and then you flip it on the inside, it'll have this cool like painting image thing, you know, and you close it up, put it in there, and just a nice little display piece. This didn't have that. The inside is just a control scheme, which why do we even need? But whatever. It's fine. I like it. I don't think I like it as much as everybody else did. Again, it's a better Vita game, but I think it's cool. Next up, Mario got a Superman t-shirt.
Yeah, I haven't really been able to go out and do anything much really this week.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to get a lot for my collection outside of my comic books. But I did happen to get in the mail a shirt that I had ordered over the previous weekend.
Yeah.
And like Christian said, it's a Superman t-shirt, and it's got the Superman logo, and it's got Jose Luis Garcia Lopez drawn Superman on there. And I love it. It's classic Superman. It's like
his eyes kind of look like they're rolled in the back of his head, though.
It's just the way that it's printed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got the classic costume. It doesn't have the New 52 suit, which...
Good.
But yeah, I like this shirt
like
a
the
lot.
suit now, the Rebirth suit's cool, but I like that suit better. I like the older suit with the shorts and the boots.
Yeah, or at least I'm pretty sure it's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Praise be his name. If you've seen the picture on our Facebook or our Instagram, I'm wearing it when him and I had gone to see The Disappointments Room.
Yeah, that was fun. We'll get to that later. But I think it looks cool. I think
Yeah,
it's cool. I like the color
comfy.
scheme. It
It's
definitely
comfy.
looks comfy. Now, moving on to the topic for the week. The topic for this week has to do with a little game called No Man's Sky. Now, this topic was sparked from the fact being that I adore this game. I think it's great. I have a lot of fun with it. It's exactly what I wanted. But a lot of people hate this game. If you go online, you see a lot of people just tear into it. Some of it's founded, some of it's deserved. Like the whole no multiplayer is definitely a problem in the game. It definitely deserves some criticism because we were told it would be multiplayer. We were told we can play with our friends. Now there is something like that there, but it's not as prevalent as I said there was. The problem that this game comes down to is what you expected. Now, the game as it's supposed to be an exploration, Minecraft with space travel kind of game, is exactly what it needs to be. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's got a lot of glitches in it, but they can be hammered out. A lot of it's because it's such a huge game. But the problem comes down to our trailers. It is the trailers. Now, the question that you have to ask yourself is, what makes a good trailer? Now, No Man's Sky kind of misses it by, toward the last few trailers, advertising a heavy combat with a more like teamwork kind of feel to it. But on the other hand, a lot of the earlier trailers showed a lot of exploration. All the like real in-game like showing of the game was a lot of like them exploring. But it is a bad trailer. So I want to put the question, since this game is pretty being hammered hard because the trailer was very misleading. What does make a good trailer?
Well, it has to give you just the right amount of teaser footage to really get you invested. Like, ooh, what's going to happen in this? Should I go and spend some money on this? Is this going to be something I'm interested in?
Yeah.
But you also want to shy away from giving away key elements to the plot. Not shying away from what the story's about, but shying away from the big, shocking moments. Mm-hmm. Or at least for films, that's true. I'm not necessarily sure what makes a good video game trailer.
I think for games and movies, it comes into one thing: is always representation of the product you're producing. I think if you don't represent the product as it's supposed to be, and the trailer misleads you, you automatically have a bad trailer. That's just how it goes.
Because you can splice a movie any way you want and put some awesome music behind it and cut it a certain way, and it will make your film look phenomenal. I think the trailer for Batman and Robin made the movie actually look really good, or something. Somebody
it looked really interesting.
So I think somebody did a recut of the trailer, and it looked like it was going to be a really good film. And then you're like, yeah, we know how that kind of turned out.
Yeah, it was an excellent movie. That was perfect in every way. No, I'm kidding.
Because when you get right down to it, trailers don't mean much.
Yeah,
they are just advertisements. They're trying to get your money and your butt in the seat. That's all they care about.
Trailers are always your first like introduction to the film, the game, whatever it is that you're going to participate in. And it's really important the trailer represents the product well, because yes, it's a form of marketing, but it's a form of marketing that's so embedded in the process in itself that if it's not done right, it can ruin the final product.
Oh, totally.
Like, I'll agree. I'll say that No Man's Sky was hurt because the trailers were false advertised. A lot of films are hurt because the trailers were falsely advertised what it is.
Morgan
is hurt because of the bad movie in general, but Morgan definitely pushed the whole horror aspect. It really wasn't that much of a horror movie.
Well, weren't you telling me that they had generated an algorithm to figure out what makes
so much of the plot is in that movie?
Yeah, the quote-unquote perfect horror film trailer.
The same like computer thing that's in Jeopardy apparently made the trailer for it, and I'm just like, well, that you can tell because I ruined the movie for me. I already know what's going to be in here. I think Suicide Squad is a very, very, very poor trailers toward the ends of them. Like the last couple trailers are awful, really awful, and they completely mislead you to thinking this movie's gonna be like a huge comedy, and it's not.
Yeah,
it's not at all. Like, it's funny at times, but it's not really dramatic either. That's the problem with movies, kind of tone. It does come down to there are good trailers. Some good examples though are like, I don't know, Alien's first trailer is amazing. Alien's teaser trailer is one of the greatest teaser trailers of all time, with one of the greatest taglines of all time. In space, no one can hear you scream.
A little louder, please.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
I didn't quite catch that.
In space, no one can hear you scream!
I think they caught that now.
I think they caught that now?
I hope they did.
I'm so sorry.
Rest in peace, everyone's eardrums.
Trailers, though, it's a weird kind of conversation because it is hard. Like some films, like the female Ghostbusters movie that came out recently, I don't think it's
horrible trailers.
Horrible trailers for an okay movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all comes down to because it misrepresented the movie. It wasn't what it was really representing the whole girl power aspect, which is fine. It's just that's all we saw. And it's like, is that the entire movie?
Well, see, for comedies, what they usually do is they pick the best jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And usually you're going to put the best jokes in the trailer to kind of get people like, oh, this is going to be really funny. But a lot of people didn't find the jokes that they had selected funny in the slightest. I'm like, well,
they're not very funny.
If these are your prize winners, these are the ones you're really proud of, and you put these in the marketing for this. This is supposed to be like, hey guys, look at this. We got all these funny jokes in here. It wasn't that funny. I guess the rest of the film's only going to be worse.
Yeah. And it kind of was. I don't think the story's necessarily horrible. It's got a pacing issue, definitely. But it comes down to it, it's like the trailer really gave it a bad rap. Another example, actually, no, I'm not going to talk about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, because Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is one of the worst video games of all time because the game is one of the stupidest concepts ever. But on the other hand, of the spectrum, you know, the original Ghostbusters trailer I was rewatching, it was pretty good. It sold the film really well. The problem comes down to is that when you're making a trailer, you're walking a fine line between the concept of how much do I show in this movie and how do I best not show too much while still representing the feel of the movie.
Yes.
Now, there are some trailers that do really well in making you think that, oh, so the movie's going to be this plot line, but then it completely does a 180 on you. I want to say Don't Breathe is a great example of that. You think the movie's going like this just generic, trapped in a house with a guy who wants to take revenge for you trying to rob him, and then there's a whole 180 in that movie eventually, and you realize, oh, wow, there's so much more to this than meets the eye, which is really, really cool.
For a brief second, I thought that there was going to be like some sort of paranormal aspect.
Yeah, I almost
from the final shot. I'm like, oh, come on, they're really doing this? You had such a great concept. And then when I saw it, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I didn't see that coming, but okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
It's something to behold. So the discussion when it comes to trailers is that we all need to realize that trailers are for marketing.
Yes.
They are. We have to accept that. But it's not too much to ask for more quality in our trailers. Like, we don't want to know the whole story of the movie within a trailer. We just don't. But at the same time, we want our trailer to be exciting and hyped up and really interesting. Sometimes a 3-minute long trailer isn't what you need. Sometimes a 45-second to a minute long trailer is fine.
There's a great Nostalgia Critic video. It's one of his editorials, I think, or one of his top 11. And he goes through, I think, either the weirdest or the best trailers. And at number 1 is the trailer for Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Yeah.
And it shows no footage. It's just Alfred Hitchcock giving you a little bit of a rundown of the things that are going to be happening in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. So I would recommend watching that. Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker, has pretty good ideas on what makes a trailer work.
Yeah, I agree there. I like him. I think he's an interesting person. There's a couple things I disagree with him on sometimes, but I like it.
Same.
It's just good topic to come on to because, like, you know, trailers are a big deal, and No Man's Sky was really panned for it. I really do want to say, like, No Man's Sky is a great game. It's a great exploration kind of resource collection game, and it's fun. It is fun for what it is, and you just kind of have to accept that maybe, yeah, it's not the perfect, most excellent space simulation game ever. But we didn't need that. We just needed a fun game. Well, we're going to move on now to the movie reviews. We saw 2 movies this week, but first we're going to start with our favorite, Garbage Day.
Garbage Day!
This week's Garbage Day was The Disappointments Room.
The jokes write themselves.
And boy, oh boy, it does not live up to his name. Because like I posted on Twitter, was it Twitter or Facebook? I can't remember.
I think it was both.
I think it was both. If a movie, you go in expecting it to be bad, and it is bad, is it really a disappointment at that point? Oh, sorry guys.
It was abysmal.
It was abysmal. It was so bad.
I was bored the entire time. Nobody gave much of a performance at all. The kid was obnoxious. I'm a vegan. Shut up, kid. You're like 5.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man.
The dad is a lazy bum. The mom is bland
jerk.
and boring. The concept is below mediocre.
It's like I could see this as a television episode for the Twilight Zone.
Not even. Twilight Zone would put more effort into this.
Well, like the story as like a concept, I could see this is like you could cut 90% of this movie down, make it into a 30-minute short film. It would have been better, honestly.
You know what my big problem with this is?
What?
Nothing happens.
No, nothing. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this. This is a strange film for me because you are sitting through the entire movie going, "Oh my god, is it over yet?" And then when the climax hit, you're like, "Oh,
That's it?
we're already here?
Is it over?
It's ending?" I thought there'd be more to this. I thought you were going somewhere with a couple of these things. The movie drags on, but when it ends, it's just done.
You know what it is?
It's just done. And we discussed like the movie. If it would have killed off, remember guys, this is Garbage Day. There would be a lot of spoilers in this film because we spoil Garbage Day. We don't want you seeing it. Don't see it. It's bad.
We really don't want you to.
Like,
save your money. Go see a good movie.
If the mom would have killed the son, at least
it would have had something.
It would have had some teeth behind it, but it didn't. It had no teeth. It's like nothing of any real consequence happens. She almost kills her son.
Well, she gave
how she did in the first place shocks me.
She gave that pillow what for though?
What was it that she had? Was it a knife or was it a
hammer?
Hammer.
Was it a hammer
or
was it an axe? I don't remember.
I don't remember. But she's like,
it was stupid.
Starts smashing down what she thinks was this guy's head,
like a ghost that was trying to kill her son.
Turns out it wasn't the ghost at all. It was like her son, but it wasn't her son. It was the pillow next to him. And how the ghost messes up to get her to hit him is beyond me.
That kid's gonna need a long line of therapists.
Yeah, a long line of therapists.
The amount of money that they sunk into renovating this house, it's just wasted. They don't stay there.
Did they really sink any money into renovating this house?
They bought the place, didn't they?
And they tried to fix the roof, but they didn't really renovate.
They paid the guy, didn't they?
No, they never.
Actually, no. He doesn't show up again.
They pay him like if they do it based on like
hourly
remodeling standards. You do you pay him a bit at the beginning and the rest at the end.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly because my
I kind of checked out.
My dad did stuff like this, since my grandfather runs a company that does stuff that they were doing. I can't remember how it works, but you get a little payment at the beginning and the rest at the end. And it's like, if they're going by that standard, then yeah, he got paid something, but he died, I think.
And then he's not dead?
Yeah, it's
really
unclear.
Really stupid.
It's very unclear about that. But, I mean,
at least we got 3 very quotable lines.
Yeah, okay. So
they were throwing one of them around through the entirety of the film after it was said, and it's the joke that refuses to die.
It's so
At
perfect.
one point they go into town and they go into this little general store, and the
general store lady, by the way, is the best character in this movie. She kills me. She's so stupid.
Yeah, she's one of those typical Southern ladies that has the Southern drawl and everything. And the kid wants some ice cream, and she asks the kid, "Oh, what kind of ice cream do you like?" "Strawberry." "All right, let's get scooping."
She's just staring at it like. There's a moment between the two of us where it's dead silence, and then we process what just happened, and we are laughing so hard. It is the hardest laughing I've ever done with him my entire life. We are like dying on the floor, rolling around. It is so funny. But man, oh man.
And then she makes a comment about how some contractor or something is really attractive, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Devil, get behind me!
Devil, get behind me!"
She's so stereotypical. Yeah, Satan, get behind me.
It was Satan, get behind me. Satan, get behind me.
She's so stereotypically Southern. And then there's a moment where, because the mom had accidentally suffocated her child, and so they're trying to add backstory to them. And she has a mental breakdown, and the movie is essentially the dollar store version of The Shining.
Yeah.
Except nothing happens. But there's a moment where she breaks down and she has a cake because it's like the 1-year anniversary of the birth of the baby.
So great.
And I'm not gonna say the whole thing because we try to refrain from vulgarity on the show.
Yeah, I don't do a very good job at it.
But she's got the cake and her husband tries to wrestle the knife and wrestle the knife away from her, and she's like, "Let me cut the cake."
Swinging a knife around, "Let me cut the cake!" And we're just there laughing outside the theater, just yelling that as loud as we can, walking out.
I think everybody in the theater was laughing
because it's so stupid. Like,
I think
they went stupid.
I think they went because there were at least like maybe 10 teenagers in the very back row.
So loud too, man.
I think they went in there just to riff the movie.
I don't really mind it. I didn't mind it because they weren't super loud, but like when we're trying to watch the trailers, I was curious what the trailers were. They just went, "Shut up."
Yeah.
And like, can you all be quiet now? Because I'm gonna come up there and I'm gonna hit you like your daddy should have, because you are a loud and obnoxious human being. But then they quiet down during the movie, and you hear them making jokes. There's a couple of jokes I heard them behind. I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna give you that one. That's a good one. You win there. You beat me there. Now, it's hard because, like, on one hand, I want to tell you not to see this movie, and you don't. Don't see this movie. Don't listen to anything I'm about to say. But you should totally see this movie. It's super, super funny. Like, it's so stupid. When it comes out on Netflix, because you know it's going to be on Netflix.
It's one of those movies you watch when you're wasted with your friends.
Yeah, it's one of those stupid movies. Oh, I'm drunk. I'm going to go watch a stupid movie now. And that's what you do. And it's funny. It's funny for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm more disappointed by the fact being we actually went and watched it.
See, it was
than by
between
the movie itself.
yeah, no, because it was between this and When the Bell Breaks, because they both had 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's a good chance we're going to see When the Bell Breaks next week. We're kind of up in the air about whether we want to go see that next week or we want to see a movie that's coming out that next week. Now, it depends. There's a particular film coming out next week that we might just go see because it's Jesus exploitation film. I love Christian exploitation or whatever it's called. Christploitation, thank you. I love Christploitation films because they're never. I always see what they're trying to do, but they're never good. Now, say what you will, Passion of the Christ is pretty well done.
Yeah,
it's a well done film. Like, okay, there's some things that are problems in it, but visually it's very well done, and I appreciate it on a visual standpoint. I appreciate all the commitment the actors put into it. That's the only Christploitation film I could ever say that movie's actually worth a watch because visually it's very, very, very stunning, and it doesn't reframe because it's about Christ himself. But there's a movie coming out next week. It's
one of those concert films where they try to give you the experience of going to the concert and then a little story. It's
like the Justin Bieber film that came out.
Oh God,
I saw that in theaters.
Why?
I couldn't help myself.
Why did you give him money?
I went to see a couple friends of mine, and we were just laughing the whole time. We were just laughing, which is so funny. No one was in the theater, by the way. No one.
You're the reason why he's still here.
He doesn't make music.
You're the reason why he's still here.
Now, like I said, Disappointment Room not very good. Moving on. As always, it's another Monday come by, and a Matinee Monday hits. This Matinee Monday was Kubo and the Two Strings, and I think me and you are the last human beings in the galaxy that have not seen this film.
Oh, yours is a little bit of a larger scale than mine. But yeah,
just a little.
We were the only two people in the theater.
And it was the best part of the movie, is the fact that we watched alone. Because I can say this much, this movie is one of the greatest things I've seen in a long time.
Very good. And I will be very frustrated if Finding Dory wins Best Animated Film of the Year.
It's another example that I get a feeling that it's going to be a Disney movie and win Best Animated Movie of the Year because it's always a freaking Disney movie. It's always a Disney movie. It's always a Disney. It just there's so many problems with that like standard. But if it's not, and if they actually pay attention this year for the animated films, it's going to be Kubo the Two Strings. And I wouldn't even be surprised if it got a Film of the Year nomination.
Oh, it was
okay. I'd be kind of surprised to get the animation.
There are some really good films out this year, but for animation, this takes the cake.
But it's not even that. As a film, this takes a cake. This movie gets you into the concept and the lore within minutes. And minutes,
I buy it immediately.
The main male character he's so charming.
You know what it is? He's written like an actual kid.
Yeah, he's written like a child. He's such a charming kid. He's so sweet. He's so nice. He works so hard. His mom is very charming. All the characters in there are very, very charming, very funny. The villains are actually super scary.
Oh my God, yes.
Like every villain we see, we're like, wow, I'm actually horrified by you. Now, I was looking this up, and I learned that it does a mixture of claymation and animation that gives this movie a very unique style to it. It sort of feels like A Nightmare Before Christmas, but smoother, and I really like that. It's got a smooth feel to it. We get these moments where we get like these cool backdrops, and they are gorgeous. Just very works gorgeous. Of art. Just complete works of art.
It's done by the same studio that did Coraline, right?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell because it definitely looks like Coraline.
Yeah.
I can't begin to describe how the movie is done, the way it feels, you feel when you're watching it, and how the style is, because it is very, very, very hard to explain. It's a very different experience in a film. But the story is the great example of something being very clean cut, but not at all bad or cliched. Very clean cut, very simple, but not cliched and not rough. It's very interesting. The ending is perfect,
and it's got a pretty good message in there.
It's got a great message. There's like a lot of like you are who you make who you are. It's hard to explain because the very ending of the movie has a moment which has this great message, but it's hard to really talk about it without really spoiling this film. You're not spoiling this film. You have to see this movie. The ending is great. The ending makes the film almost.
It's got Matthew McConaughey as a beetle man.
Was that Matthew McConaughey?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's why I recognize his voice. It was great. He did a great job. I love that character. That beetle's my favorite. He's so cool.
I think that was Christian personified on the screen
Yeah, a little bit.
as a beetle man.
Because he's just so punny, and I love him. I love him so much. Yeah.
If they call you monkey and me beetle, shouldn't he be called boy?
Shouldn't you be called boy? Movie's fantastic. It's excellent. It's so excellent. It's well done. It's well acted. It's well stylized. There's action sequences that are really, really well put together and choreographed.
Engaging.
Very engaging. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the entire film. Like, within a few minutes, I'm like, oh wow, this is fascinating.
I'm not even ashamed to admit, I teared up quite a few times in this
And you
film.
know what? There's another example of a good trailer. The trailer sells you on the concept, but doesn't tell you anything about the film. There's a lot of things that happen in this film. Like, oh, wow, I didn't see that coming. And it's really cool. There's a couple things you kind of see coming, but...
But regardless, it's still very well done. It's not, oh, that's a thing that happens. Guess I was right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's a good week. I'm excited to see. We're probably going to do Matinee Monday next week, but we haven't decided what we're going to see. We're still kind of up in the air. I was thinking War Dogs, but I don't know if I really want to see it that badly.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it, but...
I might just wait for the DVD release.
More than likely.
And find it on somewhere to stream it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Collectors Coalition. I am one of your hosts, Christian Bean, and as always, here with me is my buddy, Mario Bennese.
Hey, you got the show's name right this time.
Shush you! I spent an entire week bashing on myself for messing it up twice. I messed it up twice. I didn't catch it until someone pointed it out to me.
It happens to the best of us.
And it happens. Well, everyone, this is another week. As always, it's great to see you. Great to see another good week. Second episode. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, folks. Thank you for listening to Collectors Coalition, a Magnesium Studios production. If you like what you've heard, be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on iTunes. We're also available on PodOmatic and SoundCloud.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Collectors Coalition and on Twitter at Collect Coalition.
Stupid character limits.
If you want to write in, drop us a line at thecollectorscoalition@gmail.com. For exclusive footage, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just search Collectors Coalition.
And remember, stay nerdy, my friends.